Well, hi there. Uh, I looked at the last video on this, and I worked on it in between, which I didn't intend to do. But sometimes it just keeps calling you, and you just come when it calls. So I think you can see right here. I did some more lifting. I softened that a lot, and I pulled some of that color around and down through here and kind of smushed some around with the magic eraser. So I'm actually using it to paint with. I don't remember if I put this leaf in on there. You know, I'm thinking maybe I didn't. So this I cut out around the shape, and I lifted this out with the magic eraser. Look how clean that leaf looks. I mean, it had a little bit of color left in it, but not very much. So I was really surprised because that's Prussian blue there. And then on the apples, I'm trying to make sure I'm in the view here. On the apples, I came back again with the magic eraser and did more lifting. You can see this one's less important over here. And this one's got some nice streaks, which it started out with, but I enhanced those a little bit. I did a little bit of lifting over here too. I've got this color in down here. I believe I had that before. I pulled a little bit of grays down in here over it. Oh, it's so very pale. I don't even know if it's going to show up for you to see, but it's there. I'm kind of liking this area out like this, but I felt like it was just missing something. So I came in and I drew in tiles coming across here. And I thought I would do something with the tiles. Let's see, that and the stems for a finish up. So one of the problems with the tiles is they're quite noticeable here, and you can see again, I have pulled up a lot of it. I drew stuff down, I weakened areas, I strengthened areas, you know, to get this really interesting quality of line. But over here, you don't notice. Oh, that's another thing I did that wasn't on the video. I added some pink down in here. I hated to mess up this texture that I had, but it just wasn't quite strong enough behind the whites. So I pulled in some pink there. Okay, so now we come into the pink, and you no longer sense that there's tiles there. At least if you're back from it a ways, you don't see this at all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mask some of this out, and I'm going to lighten the top edge of the tile here and here. And you're not going to watch the whole lifting process, but I am going to start it out. Just as a reminder, I think most of y'all have seen this multiple times these days. I want to mention that I use a really sharp razor blade, and what I'm using is just the corner of the razor blade. Now, the corner of a razor blade is a whole lot thinner than an X-Acto knife. Sometimes people have to press down too hard with an X-Acto knife, and that's just counterproductive in all kinds of ways. I can pretty much cut through this stuff without even damaging the paper. Okay, so I'm going to drop it on here. Oops. Got to lay down smooth. And then the other thing that I might do is I might just press it down lightly, but I'm not really burnishing it down right now. So then I'm going to take the sharp blade, the corner of it, and I really don't know. I don't want to mess up my green lines. And I can hear it scoring. I don't know if that sound picks up on the video or not. But I can hear it scoring, and I can see a little a little funny edge there where the where it's been scored. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one out and then I'm going to turn the video back on. Okay, that didn't take long. Now, I'm picking up a corner. It's real easy to get under it usually with the corner of that razor blade. I'm pulling it up slowly. Now, what I might want to do, the other two are already pulled up. I might now want to burnish this down just a little bit, just around the edges, not the whole piece of tape. But if I had burnished it down before, it would be a little harder to pick up. But that came up real easily. This didn't take any time at all to do. I got off the video, but it was pretty fast. All right. Whoa. Here's the magic sponge, and I want to have a paper towel handy. Always planning ahead. Oh well. Okay, here we go. So I've got a piece about the right size for what I need. So I'm going to pull away from the edges of my masking. This is not coming up a whole lot. Okay, now maybe that's enough there. Now before I pull this tape up, this is another one of the advantages of having the clear tape on here. Before I pull this tape up, because I don't want to pull up too much color, just some. So before I pull this tape up, I'm going to go stand it against a wall and look and see if I've got the effect of this carrying over or if I need to pull it more. Well, it's doing what I want, but it doesn't feel like a continuation of this. So I think my problem is I'm going to need to pull a little more of the pink over into this one, maybe even there, just a tiny bit. But I think also that I'll pull up just a tiny bit more of this. Just at the edge. Okay. Now watch me wind up having to put it back. Should I have done something here? I don't think so. Okay. So let's pull these up. I actually left a bunch of this attached. Now here's the thing. Pull this up gently. And if it's fighting with you, you can heat it up with your hairdryer a little bit. And it'll come up much easier, more easily. But you don't want it to damage your paper. I came off all in one piece except this little ditty right here. Okay. So, you can see that kind of works, but it just doesn't still have the continuity where it stopped there. So, let's see, what brush do I have out here? Because I haven't unpacked my brushes this week. This is an oval, something that I don't generally use. So I used Quin Coral there. It's funny, Quin Coral looks so different in the pan there. It looks dull. And then when it goes thin on the paper, it's much brighter. Go figure. Every time I get it out, I think maybe I've got the wrong color or something, because it doesn't look right there, but it certainly looks right here. Now this will be paler than the other, but it'll be there. And let's just pull a splotch over there. It doesn't have to make sense. In fact, I'd rather it didn't make sense. Okay, I think that that's probably enough to tie those together. I just want you to see this as a unit coming across there. And I wanted this to be pale. I just sort of like that lost area there. This is pretty lost down in here too. Let's see, I might, yeah. When you're painting in this direction, it's a little hard to keep it all on the paper. Okay. Well, here's a little brush. I am looking for some, like, burn umber or something. Okay, this is one of those very old dragon's tongues, which I think are Kolinsky sables. It doesn't have a very good point on it. And the ones that came from Cheap Joe never had a good point on them. And I'm going to put just a touch of indigo in it. So it's a little more like a raw umber. I may have to switch brushes. Let's see. I want this to be pretty strong. That's really too watered down. There's something a little stronger. And I had a little trouble with my drawing on this one. I don't like the stem I drew. There it is anyway. You can see part of the green leaf. But I did not finish the green leaf because I wanted a yellow green on that folded over tip there. I don't know if you can tell it's a folded over tip, but you know, I think that this little area there could weaken just a little bit. And what I'm going to do is, see, that's just the tiniest, barest bit of mostly dirty brush water, but it's got a little bit of coral on it. There. Okay, now I don't know that this is finished, but this is the last of the video, and I think it's finished. Or close to it. You know, they're never really finished until you take them out of the frame several times and redo them. Okay. Well, I'm trying to get it all in there and I can't. Just doesn't fit, does it? Anyway, that's the painting. And that's the end of the apples. Yeah.